So it is the middle of January already, and I thought it was about time for a work in progress update. I have finished a lot of things. I have some new whips going, and I thought I'd show them to you. So let's get started. Hello and welcome back to the Knit Life Oils YouTube channel. Happy Wednesday. It is Whip Wednesday, my favorite day of the week to celebrate knitting wise, I guess, because Friday's my actual favorite day of the week, but I digress. So I have finished a lot of things. I've already finished 2 things in 2025, which I think is really cool. So yeah, let's talk about that. So the first thing is my Brookring Cardi for my sister, and I haven't taken great finished object pictures of this yet, but I do have a finished one, so I'll show you that. But it fits her amazing, and she wore it the other day, and I kept looking at her because I was like looking at the design of it and everything, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. The only modification I made was that I put seed stitch on the arm. Instead of ribbing on the ends of the arms, I put seed stitch because she loves seed stitch, and so that went over very well. And I also, so I guess I made 2 modifications, but the other thing is I made it a lot longer than it was supposed to be. Probably almost 10 inches, I think. She wanted it to be longer, like more of a house coat kind of length. And it actually ended up being that, which I was so happy about. And yeah, because a lot of times when I try and make things longer or whatever, I get tired of knitting them and then just stop them, and they're not as long as they wanted or whatever. But that worked out really well. The sleeves are the right length. I think it's going to fit her for a little while. She said she's going to wear it when she comes with me to Rose City Yarn Crawl if it still fits her. That is only in 3 months, so I really hope it still fits her. So, yeah. So that was that. That only took me, it took me a little longer than I think most cardigans take me. I can usually make a cardigan in about a month, but this one took me like 6 weeks or so. I think it was the extra length, and there was some garter stitch parts that took longer. They were on smaller needles to match the gauge of the stockinette, and those really took a long time. And one of those was with like 500 stitches for the button band around the edges, the button band without buttons. So, but overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Oh, so in case you were wondering, it did not get finished for Christmas, but I finished it with an hour to spare in 2024. So it was my very last finished object of 2024, and I did not bring it with me into 2025. It was finished. So that was my claim to fame on the Brookring Cardi. So my next finished object is my Drawn Together cowl, and this is it. I'm super happy with how this came out. So this is the Drawn Together cowl by Shanaline Designs, and this is knit in Treehouse Knits yarn. This is the first time I've ever used Treehouse Knits, and now I know why everyone talks about it. It is so squishy. I held fingering weight double, and I feel like somehow that makes it squishier. I wish you could feel it through the screen, but you can't. So I will squish it for you and just tell you that it is very, very squishy. And so that is really cool. This has a folded hem so that the I-cord drawstring fits inside, which I really like, and that makes a folded edge on the top, which I think is a really cool feature. So I like this cowl, and I like wearing it. For me personally, these I think are a little bit too long for me. I could have made them a little bit shorter, and then they wouldn't hang down over the cowl when I go to wear it. I can also take it out, but I like the little pop of color on it, and I think that I like the pink that kind of pulls out the other pinks in it. But yeah, I think that the cords are a little bit too long for my liking. But overall, I am really happy with this, and it was a quick knit, and it was fun to do with the super squishy yarn. So, the other thing I just finished, it's still on the blocking mat, so I brought the blocking mat with me. These are the Tinsel Mitts by Andrea Mowry. And the really cool thing about these is that they have an option to be a convertible mitt, which means that it has a little top that flaps over a fingerless glove. So it can be a fingerless glove or a mitt. It's called a convertible mitt. And my mom was really excited about that concept, and her birthday's coming up. So I made these for her, but I had her try them on, and we learned a new fun fact that apparently her hands are a different size than mine. Very interesting. So these fit me perfectly, and I am going to take them with me on a trip to New York this weekend, and I think they're going to keep me super warm, and I'm very excited about that. But now I have to make my mom another pair in a different size because these are too big for her. So these were the adult mediums, and so I think I'm going to make her the one size smaller and see how that goes. But I've tried them on before I blocked them, and the convertible mitt fits great, and it just flips up over the top like this. And I am really excited about that concept. I think it will work nicely, especially for the super cold weather that we are getting, that they have in New York and all those things. So, speaking of my New York trip, I have been trying to get all of my projects into a place that I can work on them while traveling and that they are easy to travel with. So that's what I've been doing with my whips. And the reason I'm going to New York this weekend is to be at Vogue Knitting Live New York City. I am so excited about that. So if you are there, please say hi to me because I want to meet you. So let's start with this. This is my cowl. This is the Adelaide cowl, and I just finished the ribbing and got a couple rows done, but I'm about to start the pattern portion. This is a skein from 3 Irish Girls that I got when I was traveling in Salt Lake City this summer for the Salt Lake City Yarn Crawl. And it was one of the skeins that I picked as my inspirational skeins for the year, and I was really excited to cast it on. When I wound it, I was kind of not as thrilled about it. This is what it looks like wound. But now that it's knitting up, I'm liking it a lot better again. For some reason, I have this thing where a lot of times I don't like the skeins wound. I like them in the hank, and I like them knit up, but for some reason in the ball, it just doesn't look like what I feel like the skein is supposed to look like, and I feel like the balls lie to me sometimes, and that gets a little confusing. So that is whip number 1 that I'm taking with me to New York, and let me find a place for this stuff. So, which one do I want to do first? Let's do this one. This is whip number 2. This is the Michigan Avenue wrap, and it is in the brand new DK weight yarn from Twice Your Cheap. I am super excited about this yarn, and it's really squishy. I'm obsessed with squishy at the moment. And it's going to be 3 colors, so let me show you. This is the 3rd color. Look at how pretty those are together. I love these colors together. So I am this far in, but I'm about to tear the whole thing out because I am off on the gauge pretty drastically. So mine is a lot smaller than the pattern is. So I am going to go up 2 needle sizes and see if that fixes it. I think that will kind of even everything out a little bit. This is coming up really dense, and the photos have a lot looser gauge and a lot looser stitches, and I'm thinking that 2 needle sizes will help with that. So that is the Michigan Avenue wrap. I'm really excited to take that with me on my travels because I think it will be easy to pick up and put down. It's all straight knitting except for a decrease on the edges and an increase in the center. So I think that that will be super simple to bring along and work on. So the third whip that I'm working on right now is the Sweet Surrender wrap. And I'll show you here. It's not very far along, but that's okay. This is by my friend Irina, who hosts the Fiber Chats podcast. And this yarn is from Cowgirl Blues. And it is the yarn that has the matching mohair stuff. And I tried a different pattern with this, and I came up with a lot of different ideas, but I really wanted to see the same color yarn and mohair next to each other and work alone. And I was really excited to play with that. And I couldn't think of a better way to do it than with the Sweet Surrender wrap. So I am kind of copying my friend Irina and making the same pattern, but that's okay. She will be in New York this weekend, so that is one of the reasons I'm working on this. But this is also something that I want to wear to other events later in the year, and I think that this will be perfect for that. Cowgirl Blues will also be there this weekend. I can't wait to see Bridget. I'm so excited. I have never been to New York City, and I've never been to Vogue Knitting Live New York, and I just think it's gonna be so much fun. I get to see some of my H&H friends in the middle of the year. I was making a joke the other day that if H&H is summer camp for adults, which is what I call it, then Vogue Knitting Live New York City must be winter retreat, right? Like when you were a kid and you had winter retreat. So this is my version of winter retreat where I get to see all my friends and it's going to be awesome. So those are my whips. That's what I'm taking with me. I haven't thought a lot about more future projects. I really have a lot of future projects kind of planned out between my inspirational skeins for the year and things that I want to wear to events. That's kind of what I'm going to tackle next. A couple of these things that I'm working on are things that I want to wear to events. And the next thing I will probably pull out to finish is my clam bake poncho, because I want to wear that to H&H in May, and I need to get that finished. And then I have a couple sweaters that I would like to wear to events later this spring, I guess. Yeah, so I should probably start those. That would be a good plan. So that's kind of where I'm going after this round of projects. And yeah, I kind of think that's all I have this month. I have also been working on my 15 minutes of daily knitting goal, and I haven't missed a day yet. So that has been going really well. I love the mindset of that. I like the expectation that we're going to knit for 15 minutes sometime in the day, and it has already really helped me. I have knitted for 15 minutes on a couple days that I would not have in the past, and so I think that that has been a great goal so far, and I love doing it. I will put the link to my free knitting tracker in the caption of this video if you want to join me in doing that. It has been so much fun, and I love seeing how excited you guys are about it. It just makes me so happy because it was something that I really wanted to do for myself, and I love that you guys want to do it too. So that is it. I am off to finish packing, and I will keep you posted this weekend on my trip to New York for Vogue Knitting Live. And say hello to me if you see me, and I will talk to you soon.